Here you're seeing one of our examples of our Scolibrace. Now, the Scolibrace is an ultra-corrective brace. And the idea of being an ultra-corrective brace, meaning is that it performs better being able to push the spine, getting a great in-brace correction. Getting a great in-brace correction requires something we call spinal flexibility. As scoliosis gets more significant and as it sits there longer, scoliosis becomes rigid. And the more rigid the scoliosis becomes, the less it's responsive to bracing and the less it's responsive to any type of a treatment. So all the intensive care that you saw earlier was designed to improve the flexibility of the scoliosis. So there it allows us to design a brace that's more aggressive than traditional types of braces. This brace is working on a thoracic scoliosis. So you can see it's the exact mirror image of her torso, where she has a thoracic spine that bends in this direction. We actually are bending her spine in this direction. So when we take pre and post x-rays of patients in these types of braces, they can have a very strong effect. Now, we can build them more aggressive because we're doing this intensive care type of process before they actually get into the brace. And this allows us to build an ultra-corrective brace. One of the biggest prognostic factors in determining whether a person is going to respond effectively is their in-brace x-ray, how good their in-brace x-ray is relative to their out-of-brace x-ray. This allows us to start way down the road because the intensive care allows us to make this spine more flexible so it can respond to this type of brace better. These braces can't be worn by every single person, meaning if you're not doing the pre-intensive care, this brace would probably be too aggressive for her and she probably wouldn't be able to tolerate it. But because we're doing all the rehabilitation and therapy before we put the brace on, we can start here. And that's like the magic that happens with these types of programs, is that we're combining very specific protocols to get the best out of everything. There's some key features to the Scolibrace in the front. Obviously, we have the straps in the front, so they're much easier for the person to take off and on. Most braces are built with straps in the back, which makes no sense. The patient can't get themselves in or out of the brace. We have this guide in here that locks the brace to prevent any kind of torquing, but we also go all the way up to the axillas. And the reason why, because we're trying to correct as much of the spine as we can. Most traditional braces stop right here. So they're exposing this upper part of the area. A lot of times, these traditional braces, they'll push the curve up into the thoracic spine and actually induce a proximal or upper thoracic curve. We can derotate the shoulders. Now, patients are very functional in this kind of brace. They can do almost anything. You can see how she can bend forward. I mean, she can totally bend forward. She can squat down to the floor. You can see she can totally bend down. As people get used to the brace, they can move and function them very, very easily.